Is part 2 of breaking down the adoptee F.O.G. F.O.G, F-O-G, is an acronym. Yesterday I covered F. If you'd like more of an explanation of what I'm referring to at all, go back and you can also find out what F stands for. Today we're focusing on O. O is for obligation. Adoptees are aware that we have an obligation just by virtue of where we are in our life. We know that we have been rescued, we have been brought into a family with the expectation that we are going to seamlessly fit into that family. We are aware that it is supposed to not affect us, that we are not biologically related to these people. So we are obligated to make it seem like we are biologically related to these people, and that there is no problem with not knowing our own history, our own genetics, where we came from, why we are where we are, play the part that we were put under contract to do, a contract which we did not consent to, but we are legally under a contract to be in this family, to not ask questions. We are obligated to pretend, I guess, that everything is fine because we want everyone to be happy with the choice that they made in bringing us into this household. It's something that adoptees are implicitly aware of. An example in my life was that my father was very much into sports and expected for his children to participate in sports. I do not have a proclivity towards sports. I never wanted balls flying at my face. I never enjoyed competitive sports. Especially as I felt like I was not an athletic person. I wanted to dance, but that was not considered athletic to them. So I played softball for a couple years, and it was awful. I hated every moment of it. I dreaded going to practice. I dreaded going to games. And I didn't strike out very much because I was very small for my age, and so most of the pitchers couldn't pitch in my strike zone, so I walked most of the time. It wasn't until the championship game that they had a very good pitcher and I froze. I didn't even swing because I wasn't used to swinging, because normally they couldn't pitch in my strike zone. And so I struck out and we lost, and it was conveyed to me that it was very disappointing for my father that I was not able to do what he would have done. It was a big failure for me. As we grow into adults, we're aware that there is an obligation to continue that. We are judged by people other than our families most of the time if we decide to search out our biological history, if we want to look for our biological parents. Even though our parents support us in that, society as a whole judges us for it and is concerned for our parents that must make them feel sad that we weren't happy enough with them to not wonder about our own history, not try to get answers as to why we are the way we are. There's always an implied obligation that we shouldn't do anything for ourselves that may make our adopters feel badly. And people in general don't understand that you can love the people that raised you, but also possibly love, but want to know who the people are that didn't raise you but are genetically connected to you. We are obligated by society to pretend that biology doesn't matter. In my case, when I set that obligation aside and continued with my search and continued to find out as much as I could about my own heritage and lineage and genealogy. When my parents had nothing to say about it, other people actually did, and it was used against me legally. It's a tough one to swallow. O stands for obligation. That's part 2. Tune in tomorrow for part 3. The truth is in your genes.